guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Illuvium, the crypto NFT game that is just absolutely looks crazy as can be. So we're going to run through a couple of things as well as the land that is coming out, my strategy that I'm using for it, as well as the staking strategy that I'm utilizing for this as well. Now, with the cryptocurrencies, it is kind of volatile. So this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. So definitely talk to someone before you do some investing. If you're interested in crypto, we do have a couple links down below, help support the channel. So let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so this is looking Illuvium 0 November 1, 2021. This is actually on Publish OX in D Raja. So looking at this, everything we need to know about Zero and the land sale. So I just wanted to cover this really quick so we can go over the tracts of land that are coming to Illuvium. They are doing 100,000 plots. Now, within those plots, it's not saying how they're going to be broken up, how many are going to be what tier. They're ranking them from tier 1 to tier 5 within these 100,000 plots. Now, tier 0 land will be available as free-to-play version of Illuvium 0 minigame. So you are going to be able to have a free-to-play experience. And from my understanding, the free-to-play experience is going to pit you versus other free-to-play players, which is going to be a very cool aspect of this. So with the auction coming up pretty soon, we don't know how many of these 100,000 plots they are going to release and what tier they're going to be, which I want to kind of run through and see. So on the tier lands 1 through 5, you have the ability to build things such as generating resources, which you can claim for the Illuvium token and sold in game exchanges for Ethereum. So this is on the Ethereum blockchain, guys. That is why the gas fees are super expensive. Ethereum is just astronomical when it comes to the cost of transactions on here. Higher the tier land, so 1 through 5, the greater the resource generations. Players on the main game side will need to purchase these resource tokens to conduct various actions or activities. So from my understanding, what a lot of players have said is it's going to be similar to like a couple other futuristic kind of Star Voyagers, a couple different games on building up your towns, building up your resources, building up the buildings that are going to allow you to do other things within this land. Now, I played Axie Infinity for a little bit. The land in that game, even 2 years out since the game has been introduced, or 3 years out, they still have done nothing with land. So I'm really hoping this is going to be a complete different experience when it comes to purchasing a land. We even know the cheapest land over there on Axie Infinity runs about $12,000 for the land. So I'm hoping this is going to be far less than what it is over there. Second benefit is you're going to be able to scan for alluvials. So those are the little Pokemon, or it is the heroes or the monsters that you're going to be able to use to fight. So you're going to take them, you're going to level up. Those are what you're going to fight other players with. Not sure if there's going to be kind of a PvE aspect of it, but it seems similar to PvP to go ahead and get these. It is also going to generate blueprints for unique skins, which again, we'll look at in just a little bit. When it comes to the heroes, not 100% sure how it's going to work. And lastly, tier 5, they said they're going to be absolutely huge. With that, there's only going to be 1 per tier, which we're looking at. So there's only going to be 7 tier 5 land plots. People are saying these might go for as much as $10 million. That is right, guys, $10 million. We're going to have to see. In here, it says tier 5 land could sell for at least 8 figures, which is crazy because that is at the potential $10 million. Big shout out to Vulcan there for the video that he did. So the land sale, this is really where it comes to the question of when. So they're thinking the end of October, early November for the sale, but it is going to be a small portion of the 100,000 lands they're creating within the game. So we're going to have to see, because if they do, 10,000, 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, It is going to make a very big difference within this game. One, when the land is open and active and you can utilize it to build on. Two, the cost of what it's going to be able to build. And three, the amount of land they're putting out. If they come out and say, hey, the initial auction is going to be 2,000 pieces of land, the numbers are going to go through the roof for the cost to get that minuscule piece of land within there. So we're still waiting to see what it's going to be. They did say we have two options here. Ethereum is going to be the primary currency of the game, and then SILV. That is right, guys, not the ILV. It is the SILV that will be used for land purchases. So if you have the ILV token, the Illuvium token, you're not going to be able to use it for land purchases. You can only use the synthetic version when you're buying it with the game currency or Ethereum. At this point, I am just saving the Ethereum to see what the land costs and exactly what it's going to be. Honestly, we don't have any concrete information. But looking down here, revenue distribution. Now, this is where it really varies a lot from Axie Infinity, I feel. So the primary long-term benefit of staking your IOV will be revenue distribution. 100%, that is right, guys. 100% of the in-game revenue will be given to staking IOV token holders in the form of additional IOV purchased from the Sushi Swap. So if you're holding IOV, if you're staking IOV, the more money that people are putting into the game, 100% of it is going to be coming back to the people who are staking the tokens, which again is kind of crazy. They really go into what it's going to look like when it comes to the land sales, because again, they're saying there's going to be a revenue distribution to holders of the tokens, which could theoretically send the token price literally to the moon just because of what they're doing in the game. Not really because the benefit of the token, but just the amount of people that are putting in there could be absolutely crazy. So the timeline is something really to pay attention to. So the start plus 10 weeks is what puts us to the end of October, early November, land sale and the mobile release of the game. So we're going to have to see exactly what that looks like in the future to go ahead and get that versions. And then of course, for 4 more weeks, Blueprint NFT mining, Blueprints created, which we're going to look at the NFTs in just a minute, but you're going to be able to mine for Blueprints. Then of course, 18 weeks in from the start, align with the full release of the game. Now, the mini game, it does show kind of a little spoiler here. It looks again like a StarCraft type base. Not sure how built up this is, but this is kind of what it looks like. Looking from a player's perspective, you have a land. Again, we don't know how big, how dense, how large the land is actually going to be when it comes to these actual plots, and what you can do on them is still yet to be questioned. But it seems like this is going to be able to build kind of a little base, scan, observe aluminums, and just kind of check out the landscape and see what it is as the free-to-play version. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. So these are mining resources, generating fuel, converting resources or fuel, developing new buildings such as a singularity scanner to develop skins, detect the alluvials, quantum fabrics for developing blueprints, weapons, and armor. So you're going to get these alluviums and you're going to be able to equip them with weapons and armor. I'm not sure if your base is going to need them, but it looks like they are going to need them for fighting themselves. So this is where, again, it gets really interesting looking at the land tiers here, guys. So tier 1 through tier 5 shows the resource quantity. So low, medium, high. Of course, the higher the tier, the better the resources. I'm sure the more frequency of the resources you're going to get, and the higher alluviums you're going to be able to capture within there. So you have resources, you have the variety, you have the fuel variety, the quantity, the output, and then the tiers of the alluvial that you'll be able to capture within there. So again, the higher the tier, the more expensive it's going to cost. Even if you travel to this different land, it is going to cost you to go to the land. Again, similar to Axie Infinity. The big thing to look at here, and this is really what I'm focusing on that we talked about earlier, You see we have a couple different pieces here. So we have hydrogen, which is from the abyssal basin and the sea. We have carbon from a couple different places, so that's probably going to be a primary element. But if you look at the crimson waste and the crystal shore, they both produce silicon, which seems a little bit more unknown. It seems like the crystal shore, this is going to be really the top tier when it comes to land. And then I think this crimson waste is what I'm looking to pick up. Again, just looking from the fireside, and a couple of the heroes that we've seen, or a couple of the monsters that we've seen from there. And with silicone only being in 2 places, it seems like the carbon lands might be the most common, followed by the hydrogen. Then it looks like probably the silicon, depending on what this crystal shore looks to be with the higher tier. So it's very cool to see exactly what is going to be coming within the next couple months for this game, even couple weeks. But I want to show you the strategy that I am utilizing when it's coming to staking for the Illuvium. All right, so here we are again, guys, looking at the Illuvium. So the dashboard, I really went in 2 phases here. So you can stake 2 things in the core pool. You can do the Illuvium, so just straight up getting the ILV. But remember, guys, this is not the SLIV or SILV. It is not the synthetic Illuvium or the synthetic, meaning it cannot be used for the purchases for land. Same with the Sushi LP. So here you have ILV and you have Ethereum, cannot be used for land. Now, in addition to that, when you look at the details, there's actually 2 ways that you can stake in here, but there's also 2 ways that you can claim the rewards. So looking at the rewards, you can claim your ILV, which is the token we cannot use for the land purchases, or you can claim SILV. So what I am thinking right now is I went ahead and staked both of these, which you just seen in the other screen. This Sushi LP, I staked for the entire time, guys. I staked it for the 12 months to get the maximum return, because staking it within the 12 months gives you locked up weight 2.0, but a 605 estimated APY. That is right, 605. Because essentially what I am doing here, and my thought behind this, again, just looking for my personal preference at the dashboard, is the ILV here can be sold for Ethereum to be utilized to buy land when it comes out. This sushi pool that we put here, the Sushi LP, this is going to be used for this is going to be my influx of my SILV. So when I need currency in game, whether it's skins, whether it's building on the land that I purchased, I am stockpiling that SILV, which is going to be in here. So I'm going to claim my rewards probably once a week within here. That way we can get the SILV balance, so the synthetic ILV token, meaning we can use that for the land purchases. We can also use that in game. So once we have the land, we're going to already have the resources built out from this pool to go ahead and purchase what we need to within the game, to build the buildings, to get the blueprints, to get the scanners, get the skills, to really build out as soon as it goes live with that land. And again, the ILV is just here straight to earn more tokens. These tokens essentially, if it comes down to the cost of land only being, a 0.5 Ethereum, I can use the rewards that I got from here, because this is not locked up. I could take my ILV tokens, we could sell the ILV tokens, put it to Ethereum to do the purchase, because from my understanding and what a lot of people have said on Discord, you also cannot combine the rewards or not combining the rewards. You cannot combine purchases using 2 forms of payment, meaning I cannot use SILV and Ethereum together to complete one purchase. It has to be Ethereum or it has to be SILV. They're going to have to be separate to do the purchase. So you're going to have one, or you're going to have the other to go ahead and purchase what you're looking for as far as land. But we're going to have to see exactly how much it's going to cost. So in the meantime, I might have another month. So if they're talking the end of September, I could have 2 months to stockpile this SILV before the land comes online. Once the land comes up online, I want to pick up at least a tier 1 or tier 2. That way we can build it out and we'll already have the SILV already sitting here waiting in game for Illuvium to go live. So guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know the strategy that you are using for staking as this game comes online. Very cool to see. And as always, thank you guys for watching.